Hello! We're Lemon Knife, and we're back.
With 80 through 71 of our top songs.
Yes, top 100 songs, that is.
Why don't you start us off, Mia?
Okay. My number 80, departing just a little bit from rock.
The Departed, so this is I'm shipping up to Boston.
From rock for a moment. No, we're not shipping up to Boston, we're shipping up to Oz. This is No Good Deed from the musical Wicked, as performed by Idina Menzel, composed by Stephen Schwartz. Adele Dazeem. I don't know, there's something really, really compelling about this particular song. It's sort of the song where Elphaba decides she's a villain after all, and just kind of like everything that led to it. And just,
her name is Alphabet?
Yeah, her name is Alphabet, so Alphabet decides that she keeps mixing up her letters, and so she's not meant to be a hero, she's meant to be a villain. Because she keeps, she doesn't remember what order the letters come in. But it's very, very powerful, and just a wonderfully done number.
Alright. My number 80 is Thunderstruck by AC/DC. I think here you have your prime, the girls at middle school love your pick, and I think the boys at middle school love my pick, and I think we're going to number 79.
Totally fair. Drama camp, Wicked is all I heard about. Thanks for reminding me. But number 79, speaking of girls, this...
Girls by the Beastie Boys?
That might be in my bottom 100. No, it is American Girl by Tom Petty.
American Girls. American Girls.
No. This song is... I think just the way it starts off and the way it builds up continues on. I mean, it was definitely a little bit knocked off by the Strokes later on, and it is totally understandable. Because just the way the guitar comes in, the way it builds up at the end, there's something just so great and snappy about it.
Yeah, I like that funk break too.
Yes, that's a nice touch to it.
I wish it the ending went on longer instead of fading out so early with that.
Yes, I love the ending. The ending is absolutely the best part of the song.
Yeah,
I think the live version extends a little bit. Yeah.
Song.
Yeah, because it's American Girl.
All right, my number 79 we saw on my rap list. This is Party Up in Here by DMX. Just what a great, aggressive, your ass is about to be missing. You know we're going to find you. Some old man fishing.
That's a great... I remember the Hard Times headline when DMX sadly passed away. It was the 21 Bark Salute, which I thought was absolutely perfect. So number 78, you know what's gonna be weird? This was on my metal list, and I think there's a song or two in between that somehow didn't get on the list. But whatever the case, this is my hair metal pick, "Kickstart My Heart" by Motley Crue, which is another one of those great. You can't just sit still and listen to it. I mean,
my feet are vibrating as we speak.
Yeah. No, now I'm doing California Love.
Well, yeah. Kickstart my heart.
Welcome to the... I don't know.
Welcome to the aeroplane.
Welcome to the wild, wild west of America. No, I don't know. Worth a shot. Yes. Well, over to you, John.
All right, my number is 78, another very energetic one. This is Welcome to Paradise by Green Day. Also a very fun one to cover. We've done that a couple times live.
Yep.
I think my pick from Green Day. There are a lot of, very solid, nice little pop punk songs.
Green Day just fell short of the list. It was going to be Holiday, though. That's a great song by them as well. But, fabulous band, regardless.
Yeah. The representative from Illinois has the floor. What is your number 77?
Sorry, my number 77, another style of pop rock. This is back to those power pop bits we've been discussing in the 80s, but not the 1980s, the 80s of the... Yeah, anyway. This is Couldn't I Just Tell You by Todd Rundgren, who is a fantastic multi-instrumentalist and producer and just fabulous wizard. Just fabulous wizard, true star, something, anything, question mark. but like quite literally a wizard. And I think he's playing every instrument on this one, for instance. And just a great straightforward power pop song. Just the way it kind of, I don't know, the way it kind of goes forward and the chords.
That kind of guitar break is great.
The guitar break, the multiple guitars used on this, they're all perfect in their own special ways.
All right, I had a different song by this band in my top metal list, but something about the top 100 to go to the classics. So this is Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Good.
And just what an immediate intro. It's 8 minutes. It could probably be shorter, but it's got some great builds. It's a couple verses. It's got then like that kind of mellow bridge building up into like the face man.
Yeah, there's a lot going on that number.
Yeah.
Great number. You'll probably see Metallica again at some point. Number 76, we got a crossover episode here. This is Hoover Dam again. By Sugar! Thanks for that. Yeah, we've already talked about this, so I'll save it, but...
Any other Mold songs on yours?
No, this is the only one. But, I mean, Bob Mold, great musician anyway.
All right, number 76. This is a very metal batch for me. This is Cult of Personality by Living Colour. That's all-time great riff. Vivid, fantastic album. So many great songs on it. And this, it's the hit. It's also probably the best of them. And just the great, like, kind of snarky political lyrics with that, like, super, like, thrash funk beat. And then, like,
everyone on that band
wild
is fantastic.
Soloing. Yeah.
The little samples of the political leaders.
Yep. Ask not what your country can do for you.
What a way to have a fake out ending.
Yep. It caught you off guard the first time you heard it, right?
Oh, yes. Years ago, I was like, wait a minute. I found number 80. My old number 80. Anyway. All right, number 75. Continuing on the power pop game. This seems to be the range of the list that belongs to power pop. But this is Alex Chilton by The Replacements. First of all, super punchy. Second of all, lyrically, it's just a fantastic way of describing just being a fan of someone and having heard that song, it just kind of like makes your hair stand up on end, and having been through that experience a few times, like this is a perfect capture of that kind of moment of how you feel about the person making the music from then on. So. And
also kind of vice versa. Like I almost listen to it the other way of like they're writing it because they're kind of imagining a world where he was this popular. So they're almost like wishing for a world where he was that popular because he was kind of obscure, and so it's kind of like, hey, that's kind of like I hear that I'm thinking like, oh, that's for us, like I wish we were that popular.
Oh, that's an interesting point too.
So it's interesting. You kind of hear it as the fan, and I hear it as like the artist.
That's an interesting point, and you've made me kind of picture that song a different way. But I think,
there's kind of a slight like tragic element to it because like at this point, I think Big Star was broken up or whatever, and so it was kind of like he never was going to become famous, and so their placements are like I think are bigger than he was. So they're almost like being like, hey, he should have been bigger than us.
It's like this is who we looked up to going forward. Why isn't he this big?
Yeah. And just it's from like the rambling on the verses to like the really pretty chorus. Just
fantastic chorus.
Kind of thing.
I mean, the Replacements are just fabulous at choruses in general, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like that and Bastards of Young and Hold My Life and that.
Is that just my music?
Well.
Sorry, this song came on like Alexa or something, and I knew immediately that wow was about to come in, having not heard it in a while.
So, John, what's this one?
I think it's like Dose of Thunder, and then the chorus repeats the title multiple times.
And somehow you're just like, wow.
Yep, it's the muscle memory. All right, they didn't quite make my list though. It probably would have been Alex Chilton.
Yeah.
Or maybe Can't Hardly Wait. My number 75 is Roll On. I guess a pair of living artists from here. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So this is kind of they're, you know, Living End, if you haven't heard them, great, like, Australian pop punk band. They're like Green Day but like a little bit heavier instrumentally. They also have an upright bassist. They have a little more guitar soloing, aggressive guitar. Probably a little bit better at their instruments.
Now, if you're watching in Australia, you probably already living in it. They're massive
all
there.
Our non-existent Australian watchers.
Hey, someday.
Yeah.
They'll be looking through our archives, you know.
Well, they'll love one of my top 10, I'm sure.
Let me guess.
Yep. And yeah, so Roll On is just this really driving. I think it might be the opener on the album Roll On,
say, yeah.
which is
or like the second song or something.
Their outstanding album, and it's kind of like this about like, you know, union work conflict, and this is, you know, I guess in Australia where unlike here, their unions are, you know, fighting for the forces of good,
right?
And you know, actually dealing with issues of pay and such.
That's a subject for another video.
Yeah. And they're just like so much great like aggression and I guess snark.
They didn't make my list, but it probably would have been that one. And it's also a song that takes on a different meaning if you're playing Pokemon and you keep using the move roll out.
Roll out. Roll out.
John dreads ruse the day I add roll out to a Pokemon. Roll out! Roll out! Anyway. Alright, number 74. I don't feel quite as bad with this band having a treasure trove of riches that I picked the most popular of, but I feel kind of bad. But it is Birdhouse in Your Soul by They Might Be Giants.
Not Mr. Me.
I don't know why I hate that song so much, I just do. But anyway, there's just this, especially if you work with kids, you get the sense of the purity in this song. I mean, it's about a nightlight. The song's about a nightlight. It's just this great, just chirpy, happy, absolute sparkliness inside of you. I don't know. There's something very pure and happy about it. It always makes me just, like, perk up.
All right, so here's a song about suicidal depression.
Oh.
Good transition. Here's Mountain at My Gates by Foles.
But it sounds so happy!
It does sound very happy. It's got that very catchy, like, guitar riff, and then, like, the kind of dancey beat. And it's kind of just this great combo of, like, that with the kind of, like, depressing lyrics. Then, like, the bridge kind of, like, builds in this, like, positive explosion.
Because I think, ultimately the song's about trying to overcome it. Yeah, he's trying to climb the mountain.
Yeah, I think the ending feels very, like, triumphant. Yeah,
it's great build to the end.
Yeah, going into double time.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Number 73 from me. Very different style of drum beat, I suppose. It's Renegade by Styx. This very dramatic escalation from this a cappella intro with just the little drums kicking in, and suddenly it just punches you. The Dennis DeYoung screams into it, and then Tommy Shaw says, "Jake is up the news." The way it just kind of kicks into it.
Oh, I can't get over it. Vocalists?
Well, they're all sung. The lead singing is all Tommy Shaw, but it's Dennis DeYoung in the background that does the going into it, which is fantastic. You can just picture him like on the stage behind the keyboard, going like, you know. But it's the song is about, like, you know, obviously someone awaiting the death penalty or what have you, or they got him, and he's gonna be executed, and just kind of the musings on that. It's, I guess, a little bit rockier kind of Hallowed Be Thy Name sort of deal.
Yeah.
Sort of. But it's just a great sounding song, great ripping guitar solo, fabulous stuff going on in it.
My number 73 is on the
floor.
It's Gold Sounds by Pavement. And it's just kind of like, it's hard to describe. It's kind of just Stephen Malkmus rambling over some, like, vague indie rock things, but something about it just makes it this, like, very memorable, like every line feels very memorable and, like, sticks in your head, you know.
I feel like that's how I feel about, like, Pavement's full discography. Yeah, it's hard to describe what the appeal is, but it's there.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, once you start listening to it, you can't stop listening to the song. It's just this, like...
You're in it.
It's like a bag of Sun Chips or something.
Once you start, can't eat just one.
Yup. And I think they
Jeez.
even took a line from it to be the title of their greatest hits or something. They liked it so much, like Quarantine the Past.
Ah. I mean, that's a nice phrase.
Yeah.
Now, if we could just quarantine our quarantines in our past, having made this video in 2022, that would be great. All right, number 72. Speaking of quarantining, is it though? A House Is Not a Motel by Love is my number 72 pick. I don't know. I'm thinking about structures and where you quarantine at home. I don't know. I got nothing. You know what? Anyway, this song... I'm putting this pen over there because I'm going to fidget with it. Because otherwise John's going to steal it from me. I have this thing about pens. Anyway, yes, this is kind of... I don't even know if it's a one hit. I don't even know if they had a hit.
I think, if anything would be a hit, it's that one, like...
Like Alone Again or maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The one that goes...
With the trumpets,
With the trumpets, yeah. But, I mean, it's a criminally underrated song, I think. It should have been a 60s wonder piece. I don't know. It should be on a million compilations from the era because it just does everything a 60s song was supposed to do in a better way than a lot of songs did. Just kind of the anti-war
short,
message.
Compact, psychedelic.
The anti-war message, the lyrics, the words kind of chosen to represent the terrible world of the moment,
It's got those nice, like, drum fills.
The drum, I think, is the defining thing of the song.
Ends
really.
with, like, that drum thing into, like, the
big
guitar
freaking out,
solo
yeah.
with him just yelling. Yeah, nice freak out.
Fabulous stuff.
All right, my number 72. I regret already.
I see it.
It's Inverness by the Loud Family. And this is, I guess you would call this power pop also.
Yeah.
It's kind of just this really catchy...
it's like a jangle pop, maybe.
Yeah, like jangle pop. It's like kind of melancholy but upbeat. Just amazingly like catchy chorus, that kind of harmonies. Like, oh, Inverness. He does rhyme Inverness with loneliness, which, it's some points off. But
how many things rhyme with Inverness?
Well, I feel like he must have picked Inverness to rhyme with loneliness.
You don't think he picked loneliness to rhyme with Inverness? You think he started with loneliness?
I think he started with loneliness. I don't, unless maybe he happened to be like touring in Inverness.
I mean, isn't he? Maybe he's not British.
No, he's
don't
from
know.
like San Francisco.
Oh, well, in that case.
But yeah. Speaking of him, this is last episode we mentioned the book Music: What Happened by Scott Miller, not Steve Miller.
Not Steve Miller.
This is from one of Scott Miller's bands. This is kind of like
one of his
he was in a very like 80s jangle pop band. Then this is his band, I think, from the early 90s, which is not that much different, but sounds less 80s.
Not as aggressively so, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and capping it off with number 71. It's interesting. When we did this Top 100 last time, I had the electric version of this song. Now, I must have gotten old in the past few years because now it is the acoustic My Hey Hey, yes. Somehow I must have already gotten old. and introspective and contemplative. It's the pandemic, isn't it? Anyway, but yeah, obviously some iconic lyrics in here, it's better to burn out than to fade away, or it's better to burn out than it is to rust, etc. The king is gone, he's not forgotten, etc. It's just kind of this, like, I don't really know if there's a story to it. I think it's just kind of a meditation on rock and the people fading out of it, kind of, and just generally aging. But I think that the riff is obviously held up really well, and I mean, it's Neil Young. What do you say?
Yeah. It's kind of ironic. I feel like most of the people he would have thought about as fading away at the time are the people that are like still getting played on the radio now.
I mean,
and
look,
the people that replaced them like didn't have quite as long of a shelf life or whatever.
That's true. It's like the king is gone, but is not forgotten. Is this the story of Johnny Rotten? Well,
I guess
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a long and fruitful career, but
it's hard to say. I mean, when you look at punk at the time, it does seem like something that's going to fade fast, maybe in the 70s, but then it kind of turns out it didn't.
But I guess maybe with both, like, all of the biggest groups stuck around and all of the other ones have kind of faded away.
And then we've got these kind of people coming in and out now. It's weird to think, like, are we still going to be talking about Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, the like.
I hope not.
I hope not, but you never know. Maybe we will. Maybe Taylor Swift is going to be one of those people who just sticks around. It's hard to say.
Taylor Swift, I think at this point, safe to say, will be. And she's
long
stuck around
discussed.
for like
That's
15
true,
years.
which is
at
longer
this
than
point.
many.
Yeah. And she's certainly better than those other two, also.
Well, yeah, certainly.
All right, number 71 is.
We're not elitist.
Yeah. You can tell we love modern pop music.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this one is relatively modern. I guess at this point it's almost 20 years old, so very modern. This is I Predict a Riot by the Kaiser Chiefs.
Great choice.
And just like fantastic song. Now there's some more like snark. They're just kind of like riffing on everything they don't like in modern society, but just I don't know. I love the accents.
Of course.
And just like it's maybe peak of their into chorus formula.
They're really into their O's into the back
especially on that album. Yeah.
That whole album, really, yeah.
I predict a riot.
This song was literally 101.
Oh yeah.
Literally 101.
My 101 was Mia's favorite song, "Salesman Cheats and Liars" by the Lowest to the Low.
Was it? You
like
must
that
be
song.
joking.
No, it was on the short list.
It was.
It might also have been another of your favorites, "Inside Out" by Eve 6.
All right, I'll give you "Inside Out" over "Salesman Cheats and Liars."
That song is great.
I like the song. There's just
it's so
there's
catchy.
something obnoxiously 90s about. There's like something obnoxiously like Third Eye Blind material. Like
another one on the short list was "Found Out About You" by Gin Blossoms.
Okay, that's probably my favorite of the three. Yeah, I like that one.
Of salesman cheats and liars.